I had Jalen Williams, who's just phenomenal player, Cody Williams, DeAndre Harrison this year, and Koa. And I would say in the Arizona ranks, Koa is probably on the Mount Rushmore.
We are fired up to be joined by Coach Sam Duane Jr., formerly of Perry, Corona del Sol, legend of the Valley here, and of course, Koa Peat's coach at Perry High School. And Coach, it's great to have you here on this Friday morning. How are things?
Everything's going good. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to say congrats on your retirement, first and foremost, and just a storied career as well. But obviously, you've coached a ton of great players, lots of talent in your years here coaching Arizona high school basketball. And this one was this commitment felt like it almost had like maybe the most notoriety behind it out of a lot of these players. So just kind of what were your thoughts on Koa's decision to come to Arizona?
It did have a lot of attention to it, but I think that's because Koa is such a high character and such a great player. And I think Koa really took his time to really make the best decision that was best for him, first and foremost for him and his family, but first and foremost, the best place for him. And he went through it and he really handled it like a pro. Taking his time, everybody talking to him, all the media attention. When are you gonna commit? When are you gonna commit? He handled it very, very well, just like a pro.
And Coach, you mentioned, you alluded to how he handled his recruitment. You had a front row seat to all of that process. Can you kind of talk to us about how Koa Peat was going through that process, how some of the recruiters were during that process? How intense was the recruitment of Koa Peat?
Intensity off the charts. Koa, like I said, handled it like a pro with maturity. The thing that impressed me as we went through this whole process was he handled the meetings, he handled the visits, he handled all the coaches coming through the gym, but he never put himself above his teammates. And when we stepped on the floor, he was locked in to win a championship and to be the best that he could be. And I don't think a lot of kids can do that. He really did a great job of separating the recruiting process to not letting it affect his performance on the floor and not letting it affect his performance in the classroom, on campus, and as a teammate. But it was intense. And TJ Benson and Tommy did a phenomenal job recruiting him, as all the staffs did. But I think Cole really felt at ease, and when he was ready for his decision, I supported it, and I thought it was a great decision because he had really invested in it.
Yeah, you've obviously coached a couple players that have had ties to Arizona or ended up going to Arizona, Alex Barcelo, as well as Dylan Anderson. So I feel like you've been around kind of the Arizona Wildcats fan base, the vibes and whatnot. But did you always feel like Koa's desire was to stay somewhere local, whether that was here in the Valley at ASU or going to Arizona? Did you get the vibe that was kind of his preference?
I think deep down, but Koa also was willing to leave for the best place for him. And, his older brothers all left Arizona. His other one, Keona's at ASU playing football, but Andres, Todd, and Cassius all left Arizona. He was looking for the best fit first. If it happened to be in his own backyard and that was something deep down, then that was good. But I think it all worked out that the fan base at Arizona is crazy. He's going to love it, and you're going to love him. But I think it all worked out, and it ended up being the best fit, and it ended up being local.
Coach, you have coached some of the greatest players in the state's history. You are the only coach, I'm sure you know this, but for our viewers that aren't familiar, you're the only coach in the history of the state to have 2 4-peats at the highest division offered. An unbelievable feat. But that means that you can rank some players as well. You can go back through history and find out who really was the most special. So where does Koa Peat's talent land on that list? Now, I'm obviously not asking you to, go 1 through 5 unless you want to. But can you just kind of speak to how special of a talent he is in comparison to some of the other special talents you've coached in your history?
I never compare my guys. I love them all, and I'm not going. He ranks as one of the top. I've been blessed to have phenomenal players like at Corona, Barcelo, Marvin Bagley, Saban Lee, Dane Kuiper that went to New Mexico. At Corona, at Perry, I've had Jalen Williams, who's just phenomenal player. Cody Williams. DeAndre Harrison this year, and Koa. And I would say in the Arizona ranks, Koa is probably on the Mt.Rushmore with guys, not just because of his physical talent, which is off the charts. His IQ is off the charts. His character is off the charts, and his willingness to win. I think those things separate him.
Coach, I wanted to you speak to his competitiveness and his willing to win. That broken hand that he played through in the playoffs this season. First, can you speak to us about, what it was like watching him play through that broken hand and how special that is, but also just how much of a competitor he must be to want to win that bad?
Yeah, supreme competitor. That whole thing was a wave of emotions from a fluke accident in practice that probably I tell people I could win the lottery before that ever got hit like that again. No collision, no nothing, just a hit from an elbow. From him, though, the emotion of him being told he's done, to sitting in our office trying to go through that process, to then him getting antsy watching practice and then getting back to the doctor and I laugh. His dad laughs. His dad called me and to tell me he was clear, and he was like, Coach, I had a feeling I was going to have to make this call to tell you that he's playing, because that's how determined he was. And we kind of held him off in the semifinal. We didn't start him, and he was next to me, and we were doing okay. And I turned to him, and he goes, Coach, I want to play. I'm good. I'm ready. So I was like, let's go. And you couldn't tell he had a broken hand. Like his first play, he scores. And then in the semi, he played that out. He was sore the next day. We shut him down, no contact. All through that process, no contact. He was doing things. And then no contact up to the championship game. And he played in pain. You guys don't realize the pain that kid played in, and the things he had to do just to get ready to play, the treatments and things, just to get ready to play in that game. In his championship game, he was phenomenal. You would never know he had a broken hand. He blocked a shot right off the bat with that hand, scored. He dunked really hard with that hand. And I think he felt it the next morning. But that's a true test to Koa's loyalty, his commitment to winning. There's no one, you guys are going to find out, a kid, he's special because he wants to win, and he's a loyal kid.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously speculation on my part, but he went out and did shoot around at the McDonald's All-American game. Had he had the surgery probably prior to that, there's a chance he could have played in the game, but ultimately decided he'd rather play with a broken hand, I presume, in the state championship game rather than playing in the McDonald's All-American game and being full go.
Absolutely. His goal was to win 4. Little selfishness because his brother Cassius won 4 with us at Corona, and he wanted to get that, but he didn't want to end his high school career on the bench, and he did not want to have any regrets. And when he told me I want no regrets, I was all in with him. He played. If the thing got hurt a little bit more, his surgery would have been different. So he played with some risks, but he didn't want to have regrets, and that's just a testament to his character and, again, his loyalty. But he wanted to play in that game, and there was nothing going to stop him.
Yeah, and Coach, you spoke to just how much pain he played through, and trust me, like if fans were paying attention at the state championship game, you saw how much pain he was in. He was the last player out of the locker room at halftime, clearly grimacing, holding his hand, coming out to play. I think he checked out once. Maybe, I mean, you were checking him in and out. You would know better than me. But I think he checked out once, and when he came out, it was like him favoring his hand. And yeah, and you spoke to this as well. He kind of played like a crazy man, even with the broken hand checking dudes, dunking, blocking shots. And that kind of, to me, it gave me everything I needed to see to be like, I need this guy in an Arizona Wildcat uniform tomorrow, not today, tomorrow. I needed that right now. Coach, you spoke kind of to his mentality on the court and just kind of, the competitor that he is. But what kind of person is Koa Peat? What kind of person is Arizona getting with this, huge commitment?
Oh man, you got an hour? He's character is off the charts. And every coach is going to tell you, hey, my player is this, and this. But if you walk on our campus and you go into administration, our principal loves him. Our athletic director loves him. The people that work in the front office love him. He stops in and says hi to them every day. His teachers are at games supporting him. They love him. On campus, he's just a tremendous role model. He has a lot of visibility on campus. He handles students. Even like I have freshman PE classes, and they're like, "Can we get Cole's autograph?" Things like that. He handles that really, really well. He fits in. He's a tremendous student. He never puts himself above anybody else. If you ever come to a home game, he stays after on the floor and signs autographs, takes pictures with little kids. Here in a couple of weeks, he's doing a free youth clinic at Perry. He contributes to the community, but you're going to love him. The fans are going to love him. He takes time for everyone, and he puts himself on those people's level. He never puts himself above, and he'll be a tremendous, tremendous teammate. And you're going to love him. And that's all I can really say is you'll see as he gets down there and gets involved in the community. Community's special to him. He wants to give back. And a lot of players don't do that. They want, hey, I want my NIL and this, but he wants to give back. And he's going to be involved, and fans are going to love him.
Yeah, it sounds like a Tommy Lloyd guy as far as I'm concerned. But you spoke to coaching, Koa's brother Cassius. You spoke about, Koa's dad as well. You obviously have a pretty good relationship with the Peat family. What can you tell us about just the family in general and kind of their makeup?
Oh, one of the tremendous family, one of my favorite families that I've had. I've been blessed with that family. I coached Cassius at Corona for 4 years. Andrus Peat, that's with the Raiders, played basketball for us. He won our first state championship when he was a senior. Todd Jr. played. I got to watch Leilani and Maya play at Corona, girls basketball. All the family came up through our youth summer camps at Corona, and now the younger grandkids and nephews and nieces are in our youth camps at Perry. Tremendous family. Like, they let you coach. They trusted me. I'm blessed to have them. And more important than those being great athletes, great people, is just the relationship with the family. The Tucson's going to see the family, and they're loyal, and they stick together, and they're about community. They're about being good people. And Andrus is running side by side in the morning. Koa's doing a basketball free camp, and Andrus is doing a free football camp. So they really like to give back, and so they'll be visible, and they're just great people. So I cannot say enough about them just trusting me to coach all their sons.
And Coach, with Koa Peat coming to Arizona, Bryce James coming to Arizona, there's bound to be some people in the front row that are new faces to McHale Center, right? And you spoke to how the family is very visible and they are everywhere. I was in the building for the state championship. They were pretty much the entire courtside front row right there by themselves. And so is that something we can expect regularly at the McHale Center? Like, how big is the Peat presence going to be on campus?
I'm sure they're gonna have they'll be there, and they'll be supportive. They'll be cheering. They're loyal team people. It'll be fun to have them in the building when they all show. But they are a very close family, so get ready.
Thank you so much, Coach. We really appreciate you talking to us. He's the legendary Sam Duane Jr., two-time four-peater, 8-time state champion at Corona del Sol and at Perry High School. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your Friday.
Absolutely, and go Cats.